Welcome to Haken, an Animal Crossing podcast. I'm your mayor, Chewy Plays Nintendo, joined by my co-mayor, Sergio. Today we'll discuss the second fishing tourney for Pocket Camp, our recent playtime with New Leaf, and what it has inspired us to want from Animal Crossing Switch. And we'll also talk about games we've been playing in the meantime, while waiting for Animal Crossing Switch. So, how you doing, Sergio?
Hi, Chewy. Hello, everyone. I'm doing well. What about yourself?
I'm doing well. Pretty good week. I've already been working on the next episode of Is It Time for Animal Crossing Switch? For once, I have the script done way ahead of time. So usually I'm up really late on Thursdays.
Oh, yeah.
Last Thursday was especially bad because I hadn't done anything for it yet. Well, except for the script.
Right.
Essentially, I got the script done the day before, and then Thursday I had to do everything. So
Oof.
It was crazy.
Long night.
Yeah, it was. So I guess we've got some new things going on in Pocket Camp as per usual. Do you want to fill us in on what's going on?
Sure. And like we mentioned on the last episode, this is the second fishing tournament with Chip. It just so happens, however, that it's on the beach again. We're expecting one on the river, but I guess more ocean fish wanted to partake in the activities.
Yeah, I think I watched one of Mayor Mori's videos, and he had mentioned something about like there was some glitch going on in the river. And I guess they couldn't really fix it so people could so they could actually put the fishing tourney there.
Right.
So yeah, that's the reason it's back at the beach. I was really, really looking forward to like seeing whatever river thing they came up with.
Right.
Yeah, so it's too bad.
That's kind of strange. But yeah, okay, so it sounds like at least they're working on it. For the next one, we should have it there.
I hope so.
Yeah. But on this one, so fishing tourney number 2, the fish are the sea butterfly, the puffer fish, and the zebra moray. And those look awesome. Those are really long, and when you catch 2 of them, it's pretty cool looking.
Yeah, so I haven't played too much, unfortunately. But the one thing I did notice was catching the sea butterfly is kind of a pain because they're so small, and I feel like they don't get you toward the goal at all.
Right, that's how you feel, right?
Yeah, the puffer fish are super cute. I love them. They look, of course, cuter than real puffer fish.
Right.
But the zebra moray is really cool. It's an eel, right? A moray eel. And the moray was actually, I think it was introduced in New Leaf, so it's a newer fish.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But it's pretty cool to see like a new design for that newer fish,
Right,
which is,
right.
It's nice.
And, back again, you can rent the goldenrod. I believe what that gives you is a higher catch rate for double fish, which eventually gets you the reward sooner or faster, or if you're not able to play every 3 hours, because that's the spawn rate for the special fish at the beach. Every 3 hours you see about 6 or some, maybe, I don't know, I've never known if it's 6 or 7 sparkling fish that you can catch, and then the game lets you know that you have enough of those and you should talk to Chip.
Yeah, I want to say it's about 8.
Oh,
actually.
okay.
It might be a lot more, but yeah, I think the goldenrod, Goldenrod City, from one of my favorite Pokemon games. Anyways, so yeah, I think that fishing rod, I think every time you catch something, you get 2.
Oh,
Of
okay.
it. So it's a really good investment. I got it last time. This time, I don't have the Leaf tickets for it. I think I have 11 Leaf tickets
Oh,
right now.
wow. Oh,
It might be,
let me guess what you got.
yeah, it might be 21 because I think I leveled up. But yeah, I bet you could guess what I got.
Right. Makes sense.
do you
Though.
want
So you got Brewster?
Yeah, I got Brewster.
Yeah.
I hit 351. I had 351 leaf tickets,
Hmm.
and then I was like, I'm getting Brewster. He's too cool.
Yeah.
Usually I'd wait for a little while and build up some more leaf tickets, but this time I was just like, nah, whatever, I'll do it.
Yeah, I mean, you know you're gonna get it. Are you thinking, or for sure, is he in your campsite now?
Not yet. That's the one thing. I have not been redecorating my place at all.
Hmm.
I really need to though, because there's so much new stuff that would be great.
Right, right. And then, you have to decide which special character you want.
Yeah, that's true. Do you know? I want to put like all the things out and try to see like who shows up most, or if there's like I don't know if there because I know
Hmm.
it's supposed to be like random, right? If all the items are out.
I don't believe so. Well, at least not when I checked, which was pretty early on in the game. I think whoever you put last is always there.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Hmm. Well, maybe I'll try that out this week and see what I discover.
Right.
But I believe that.
Or they might have changed it too because, there's been several updates. I would prefer that actually. I would leave. If that was the case, no, actually, no. I want KK all the time. Never mind.
Yeah, just KK
Yeah.
forever. Yeah. So, what else is going on with the fishing tourney?
One big thing, and this was a mistake on my part last fishing tournament. Don't only focus on the sparkling fish and get those, and then okay, I'm done fishing. We want to encourage you to keep fishing the regular ocean fish because Chip has chip goals. So when you catch a lot of those ocean fish, you get either the special nets that he gives you that catch the special fish, or just regular items from his collection of special items, which look like underground items. So keep fishing, and eventually you're gonna get those goals. Those are actually on a separate screen on the menu on the right side. You see a little blue icon, and you can see your progress on the fishing tournament and what the chip goals are and how many fish you need.
Yeah, I think I did all of those last time. Mostly because I liked getting the special like fishing tourney nets, you
Right,
know.
right.
And there were some kind of good rewards
Yeah.
tied to them. So yeah, I'd say they definitely make it worth it. And they're actually like easier to get than waiting the 3 hours to do the rest of the
Yes.
stuff.
Right,
Because
and if you as long as you don't forget to get those, you can use those nets to improve your fishing score. Last time, I guess I barely managed to do it without those items, and then I realized, oh, I got all these nets now that I don't need them.
yeah, that's true. I think I got some at the end still too, and I was like, well, I guess I'll use these fishing tourney nets so I can hear the music some
Yeah,
more.
right, new different
um,
music.
yeah, but they're not too bad because you could like potentially just keep fishing the whole day
Hmm.
and achieve all of those things. I mean, I don't know who has time to fish all day outside of
Right.
like actual fisher people.
Right. So,
The
once you're done catching the sparkling ones, just stick around a little more, and eventually you'll get all of those goals. And like we mentioned, the items this time, or this time again, are sort of underwater or aquarium type fish, and they actually look pretty much made for campsites that are underwater. Actually, Air Apocalypse from our Discord has a really awesome underwater campsite, so I'm sure she's gonna add a lot of cool new items to it.
Yeah, that's really awesome. When you're winning the rewards, do you get like a lot of duplicates once again?
Most likely it'll be the case. So far, I haven't actually, and I'm about halfway done.
Okay. Darn, I'm gonna have to go through them then because I wasn't too worried about it this time, just because last time
Hmm.
I got like 3 or 4 of everything.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't need that many,
Right.
so that's why I haven't been playing too much or haven't been stressing about it too much.
Mhm.
Because last time I even spent the leaf tickets at some point to get that golden rod.
Right.
That, and I also just wanted to have the golden fishing rod. It seemed cool and new, you know?
Right.
But yeah, so last time I went all out on it, and I was like, you really don't have to go all out to get everything.
Right, and like you said, for the most part, the second half of the items are just duplicates. So if you check
Mhm.
that, I'm sure you can tell. Oh, I just need to play this much, not really complete the whole thing.
Yeah, so I'm sure I'll be able to get at least one of everything by Thursday, right? That's when it ends.
Right, it began this past Friday and it ends Thursday, the 24th. And most likely you're gonna get a trophy, and you have until Sunday, May 27th to pick it up.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah.
So, let's get on to our next topic. We got to play some New Leaf over the weekend, and I had fun. What
Oh
about
yeah.
you?
Oh my God, yes.
So what was so fun? What did you enjoy doing?
Oh, just going back to town visiting, either having someone over or visiting someone else, and just the joy of playing real Animal Crossing again, and experiencing it with someone who is not as advanced as we are, or hasn't spent much time on her town. I'm talking about Grey Wish from our Discord, which thank you, Grey Wish, by the way, because she really encouraged us to play over the weekend. And on
Hmm.
Saturday, I went over to her town, and then later on that day, we actually went to Haken, both of us.
Yeah, you went to the original Haken too.
Right.
I opened up my original town gates, so you can all take your train over. And I chose that one just because I was like, there's not really anything going on in my newer town.
Right.
I'd started it, and then I don't know, I got kind of busy and haven't played, and now I'm kind of tempted to start it over
Right.
again.
Right.
Mostly because I want to see a lot of different like town layouts.
Hmm.
I still feel like I picked too quickly, you know?
Oh,
And I'm
okay.
like,
Right.
I want the second town to be exactly what I want it to be. So
Right.
maybe I'll just spend a day resetting again. um, anyways, so yeah, I opened up original Haken Town. This is the town
Yeah.
like that I've had since, what was it, June 13th, 2009?
Right. Or June 9th.
Oh yeah, June
June 9th.
9th,
Right.
2013. Gosh, I got them mixed up
Yeah.
every single time. Um, so yeah, that's the last time we got a new Animal Crossing game,
Jeez.
at
Yeah.
least a new mainline game.
Right.
That's we're coming up on 5 years, Nintendo. Just letting you know. Um, anyways, yeah, it was super fun having you both over. What did you do while you were visiting my town?
Oh, I just looked around, and my one of my big things that I wanted to see was your house, and I loved all of it, but definitely your basement, your man cave, or your music recording room. That was the big show for me. That was awesome.
That's my favorite room. That's
Yeah.
the one I don't change. I remodeled that place a lot,
Hmm.
but I think at some point I just had the basement and I made it this like cool rock concert type of thing, and I've kept it like that ever since.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah, I love that room. I don't think I'll ever change it. If I did, I'd probably just like move it to another place. I'd take pictures and be like, everything needs to be exactly where it needs to be.
Right, right.
Yeah, so that's a really fun room.
In Rudy, I mean, you have Rudy. That's awesome. I love
Yeah,
him.
yeah. He's probably one of the longest villagers I've
Oh.
had in that town. Um, I think currently that's the longest like staying villager that I have.
Oh.
Because everybody else I think is newer. Maybe Mira, who's like a superhero bunny, you know?
Mhm.
She might also be that. Um, but yeah, I can't think of any villager in my town that I've had longer than Rudy.
Right. Oh, by the way, did you have Bianca at some point? Because I saw her picture.
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
Ah,
Bianca
nice.
the little tiger.
Yeah, I love her too.
Yeah, she was moving one day. I don't think she let me like stop her at all, so I just had
Oh
to.
man.
I think I did find somebody who wanted her though, and she got adopted.
Okay. That's better than
So
just leaving for no reason.
Yeah, so they're in somebody's town, pretty happy now. So
Right.
yeah. So yeah, and then I also saw Dazed House's town, or CC.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, it was nice. I liked seeing her town because it's like very young, very new,
Right.
kind of thing. But what I liked, I talked to her about this, and I was like, I love the gardening shop.
Yes. Right.
Because she still has the TIY where the gardening shop is a separate room
Right.
from. Because I've had Nookingtons forever, and
Yeah.
everything gets kind of blended in.
Yeah.
Um, so TIY is the gardening shop is next door. I wish it had like an official name.
Yeah.
That they need to fix that. But I really want a dedicated gardening shop in the next game.
Right.
Because I looked at that one and I was like, oh, it's so cute. They could use like if they just sold more, I would be so happy. Yeah. Um, so yeah, what were your thoughts playing the game?
Oh, I loved it. Today also, Gray was visited Madeira, and a big thing that we did both times that we played together was go to the island and just play the mini games. I forgot how much fun those are.
Yeah, I should have asked you both because I wanted to play them again.
Oh,
Um, I remember I would go to the island like every day because there's some games the games swap out all the time.
hmm, hmm.
And there are some games there that get you like a ton of what's the currency on the island? The shells or seashells or
Oh, I forget. But yeah, it's different there.
yeah, so the island currency, there's one game that you would a couple games that you could play and get a ton. One is like the super rare dragonfly hunting challenge, and
Mhm.
you essentially just run around catching the giant petal-tailed dragonflies and the banded dragonflies, the ones that run away super fast.
Right.
That one gets you a lot. And you get a lot more when playing in multiplayer because you get bonus points
Oh,
for
that's right. That's right.
placing higher. So it's worth playing with people.
Right.
um, but yeah, I should have asked you both to play those. What mini games did you play?
We played the memory one where you're digging different items and it tells you what you dug up, and you can also see what the other person dug up. That got a little crazy at first, but we managed to get it. The one we couldn't do was the maze one where you're collecting specific fruit that Tortimer
Oh,
asked you for, and I saw my list and it was pear, peach, and something else. Okay, got it. And I went and found them all quick, and then I went back and I said I want three of each, not one. So I
oh,
missed that key part. So yeah, we couldn't make it. It was too
oh
hard.
yeah. That one's really fun. I like that game a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess for me, whenever I visit a town, I love visiting towns. But the main things I do is first I start by seeing what villagers
Hmm.
they have. Because I'm like, oh, are there any cool ones that I want to say hi to,
Right.
or any that I used to have that I'm like, oh, I have to see them again?
Right.
So I check out their villagers, and then I kind of like go on a stroll um, toward their house, and I try to take it in, see what kind of amenities they have and what buildings they've put around. Um, and then I get to their house, I look at all of that, and then from there I just like look at their shops and stuff
Right.
and see if there's any shopping to do.
Right.
So what do you typically do when you visit a place?
I think my main focus is visiting the player's house and seeing what they have laid out. And I guess I don't look at the list of villagers, but I do look for them when they're either out and about or when I can check their house and see who lives there. And if it's someone that I really recognize or I want to see, I step in.
Yeah, like Rudy.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
And
so
Fauna too. I saw you have Fauna, but I couldn't find her around.
oh yeah, Fauna. I couldn't find her when I was playing either. I
Yeah.
kept running into Deirdre.
Yeah, I saw her.
Um, yeah, but I didn't really see Fauna. I also cleaned up a bit of my town while you were all there because I had
Right.
patterns laid out all over the floor. Um, mostly because I was moving people in with amiibo cards and I didn't want them to move into certain places.
Oh, nice.
So I had my entire town covered pretty much, except for like very specific spots where I was like, okay, you can move here. I don't mind.
Right. See the things we have to go through to get our layout just right.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's a lot easier to do that in the future.
Right.
Speaking about doing things in the future, let's let's jump into, I guess, like improvements that we want to see in Animal Crossing Switch based on our New Leaf play.
Right.
Um, so I guess, did you want to start? Should I start?
I can start, no problem. And I know we both agreed on this one. We want voice chat, or a better way, an easier way to communicate, and it just really comes down to voice chat. Either the Nintendo Switch is gonna get Nintendo Switch Online, and it's gonna be the application that we already have for Splatoon 2. More games should be added to it, and Animal Crossing has to be a really easy one to implement and also to offer a lot of features. So for sure, give us voice chat. I guess even if they don't, we always have Discord or something else nowadays.
Yeah. And, I know we're getting the Nintendo Online service and everything, and I'm pretty sure just voice chat's going to be tied to that, and the app. So I'm sure that they'll probably have it implemented in some way. But I think like the biggest problem I had when like having people over / visiting was like if you type out a message and send it, and then I don't know, they happen to be walking in or out of a building,
Right.
they're hitting a loading screen and maybe they see the message pop up, but they don't see it at all, they don't see
Right.
it quick enough to read it, and then after that there's no way to look at the message.
Right.
So I'm like, I know we talked about this, and Wild World had a log.
Right.
I'm pretty sure City Folk also had a log to keep track of like what
Right.
people said in the past, and you can look back and be like, oh, okay, I can respond to that,
Right. It just makes sense, and it happened to me too. But after the cutscene was done, the loading screen, I was hoping to see the message, but it was gone. So there's different ways to address it. You could see it after the loading screen. You could see it during the loading screen, or just put a log and let us check it afterward.
Yeah, and that's one of the weird things about Animal Crossing, because I know they consider it like a communication game.
Right.
And I'm like, why is communication so dang hard in the game
Right.
then? Why can't we send letters to each other anymore?
Right.
We were able to do that in the City Folk
Right.
game. Maybe Wild World, I don't remember. I didn't play it enough. But City Folk, like, I know you could send letters to your friends.
Right.
So, yeah, I think there just needs to be, like, if they're going to call it a communications game, then make it that,
Yeah. Yep.
Let us communicate. One thing I wanted to talk about, and I kind of put this in the wrong part of the notes, but so when I visit a town, my general rule for myself is don't touch anything.
Oh, right. For sure.
Because I know I'm very particular about what I have in my town. Like, for example, I have tons of clovers all over the floor,
Right.
and even sometimes at one point I was saving my weeds so I could pull them on weeding day,
Yes.
and if people come in and they're like, they want to pull them,
Yeah.
everybody wants to pull them. And I'm like, no, you can't. I need these for a very specific thing that I'm doing.
Right.
Okay. So I'm particular about that kind of stuff,
Right.
So
Right.
when I visit a town, I'm like, okay, I don't know if this person wants this here. I'm not going to touch it. Because maybe they do,
Right.
And so anyways, like that's my own little rule for myself.
Right.
I think a big,
Oh, go ahead.
actually, say your thought, because I'm going to get into a big thing.
Oh, okay. Well, I apologize to Greyways because I pulled some of her weeds. I don't know if she was trying to keep them, but yeah, you know what? That's a good point. I'm gonna stop doing that. That's the only thing I do or used to do. Hopefully, I don't even run, even if there's no flowers around, because I know it's gonna degrade the ground. So
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I don't mind too much nowadays if people, do things in my town. I'm like, I've had this place for 5 years. I've gotten my enjoyment out of it. You enjoy it now. So it's not the biggest deal. Though I still kind of warn people. I'm like, please don't pull my clovers. I
yeah.
like those. um, and the mushrooms. I need the mushrooms too. So
Oh, you have
those
so many. Yeah.
yeah, those two things specifically. Like I'm collecting tons of mushrooms, collecting tons of clovers.
Hmm.
But anyways, the big thing I want to see Nintendo like implement in the new online for Animal Crossing is giving us like toggles for of like tons of options of things that we can allow people to do or not do.
Oh.
Like running, yes or no? No.
No. No.
Like just turn running off in your town.
Right.
But like I want to see like a whole slew of like online options for things. Like can they pick up flowers? Can they pick weeds? Can they pick clovers? Can they like get specific? Can they shake trees? um,
Yeah.
and like kind of say yes or no to a bunch of things. And the reason I want to be able to say yes or no is because, sometimes, and I saw this a lot like on the Beltree forums.
Hmm.
On Beltree forums, people would post like, I'll help you weed your town. Like some people are coming back to Animal Crossing after a while, and they're like,
Oh.
oh, I have all these weeds. I need somebody to help me get
Right.
rid of them. And so like in that case, you want people to come over and be able to pull the weeds.
Right. Hmm.
So I think as long as like we're able to turn these things off and on, I think that's going to create the best online experience because people are I'm one of them. I'm picky about my town, so
Yeah. Oh
I
yes.
want I want people to follow the rules that they need to follow. um,
Right.
and
Like you
also
said. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, and also, I like if they can like open up a list and see what they are allowed and not allowed to
Hmm.
do, just to make it easy.
Yeah, right. And
Yeah,
like you said, you care about it now after 5 years, even though we don't care as much, but we still do. Imagine on Animal Crossing Switch when we're just starting or when we're barely months into it. This would be huge. I really want this. Yeah, we're gonna care a lot about this stuff.
yeah, that could be like there are situations where people come into a town and they completely wreck it,
Yeah,
and yeah, there's nothing you can do about that,
right,
except like turn off the game before it saves.
right,
And I don't know, maybe they're trying to leave before you've like noticed that anything's wrong, and then
right.
it starts saving and you corrupt your whole file like trying not to
Oh
do
my
it.
God, no.
Like that's a bad situation.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, I think that is something that's needed because like I said, like there are a lot of games where it would suck to lose your save file,
Mhm.
but like Animal Crossing is so personal and everything you've done to your town is so like if something like that happens, who knows how long it'll be before you like come back to it again
Right,
because that's
right.
heartbreaking.
Yeah. Hmm. And this shouldn't be too hard to implement. It's just like you said, it's basically toggles. So everyone would have a different one. You can change it whenever you want. It's simple. I really hope this comes true.
Yeah, everybody should be able to make the rules that they want to make.
Yeah.
You're mayor after all. It
Right.
should be like set your laws.
Right.
And that's just one of the options that you have when you're sitting behind that big desk.
Right.
Yeah. So, what other types of improvements did you want to see?
I do want a little bit faster saving and perhaps more options. I understand why the limits are in place. It's so that items aren't duplicated, or I don't know how people would cheat nowadays, but there's always somebody trying to get things the easy way, and I know that's why Nintendo puts limits on saving and things like that. But I want saving should be quicker, first of all, and if possible, everyone should be able to save their own game, even if you're visiting another town. Just because who knows how stable the online is going to be all the time, and you don't want to lose progress that you made at someone else's town.
Yeah, I totally get that. I played with a friend maybe like 3 months ago or something, but we were having issues like getting disconnected, you know?
Right.
And so eventually it came down to like my friend was just like, "Okay, can you save right now real quick?" And I'd be
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, I'll do that."
Right. Right.
And so yeah, it's just like yeah, if everybody had like an option to save, but yeah, I don't know how it would work just because you
Right.
want
It's
to be able
tricky.
to boot people before they like save permanent
Right.
damage in your town
Right.
without you even knowing.
See, that could be one of the toggles actually. Allow visitors to save on their own, yes or no?
Yeah. And, at some point, like, if there are a bunch of toggles, it wouldn't even matter if they could save or not because they wouldn't be allowed to
Hmm.
do things that would wreck your town or you would
Right.
consider wrecking your town?
Right. And going back, I guess, a little bit on your request, if we can expand on it a little, you know how in New Leaf you can mark people as best friends? Maybe those you could set either no toggles or different ones. The people that you trust and that they're not going to wreck your town.
Yeah, I'd like that a lot. Yeah, because there are people you can trust coming over pretty regularly, and you're like, you could do these things, whatever.
Yeah,
You
and
because I
save
know you
whenever.
won't like abuse it.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I like that. Getting different rules for different people.
yeah.
Yeah. So another thing I noticed while playing, I went up to Gracie Grace's and I was looking at the furniture she had, and it looked like she was near the end of a season, so she was had stuff on special. But the thing she had was a princess closet, right?
Mhm.
And I was standing next to it, and I was like, man, my character looks huge next to this closet. It's not a very big or convincing closet to me,
Right.
I was like, yeah, this closet could be bigger. So I guess one small thing that I'd like to see is just like a real improvement on like the size of furniture. So it
Mhm.
seems like more believable.
Right. Right.
Like, oh, here's this chair that looks way too small, but I sit on it anyways.
Yeah, I barely fit.
Yeah, you barely fit. But yeah, it would be nice to see like the items look the size that makes sense for like your character's size.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I think that's a small thing that I would like.
Right.
And I think it'd work out because like the Switch is a much stronger system than the 3DS, so you'd be able to get more variety in what like the sizes of everything is.
Right. Right. And like you said, the Switch being more powerful, I think it's just gonna smooth out the whole experience. It's not a deal breaker at all. We still have a lot of fun, but you can tell when you're playing multiplayer online specifically that there's just a little bit of lag, and it gets a little more noticeable during the mini games on the island. So I think with the Switch, that's gonna be a thing of the past.
Yeah, I think so too. We're gonna get a much better connection. Yeah, even one thing I do kind of like about it is when you have like a shovel out and you click the button to use the shovel, your character kind of flips it around a little bit.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
okay, I'm loading up. I'm gonna strike the ground, strike the earth, and dig this hole. It does
That's
look
awesome.
pretty cute.
Yeah.
um, Also, oh, real quick, I noticed you were walking around with um, the golden watering can,
Hmm.
and I used to use the golden watering can, but then I stopped because the animation was too long.
Yes.
Because you kind of like move it back and forth, and you're
For
like, gotta get all these flowers wet so they
right.
live forever. um, so I stopped using it because of that animation. And then I thought, you know what, Pokemon. Like when you're in a battle, you can turn off the battle animation so it goes faster. Like, what
Right.
if you could turn off like these small little animations? But that's just me being kind of nitpicky. Because I was like, I put my flowers in a line now so I can water the three in front of me.
Right.
I don't need that whole long animation to do it.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
The silver watering can works fine for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
One more thing that I do want is shortcuts for the emotions that you can do. I think if, for example, you could hold down the L button and then press either a D-pad button or one of the face buttons, and you could register your 8 favorite emotions, just to make it a lot easier to use them.
yeah, and it's funny because it's like it's not too slow how the emotions work,
Hmm.
but it is too slow. I felt very torn about it because I was like, these are laid out pretty well, but somehow I feel like it's inconvenient.
Right.
And I couldn't quite put my finger on it, but I totally agree with like some sort of shortcut to use an emotion.
Right. We're gonna talk about this in a little bit, but like in Rocket League, there's quick messages that you can send, and sometimes it takes a little time to memorize which ones to press to say. So it would be something like that, but it would make it, I think, a lot better. If something funny happens, you can laugh right away instead of a couple of seconds afterward.
Yeah, I'm still trying to get those down. It's
Oh
kind
yeah.
of hard, but I'm like, this is cool. I like this idea of how to message.
Right. Right.
Um, yeah, and I mean, I guess it shouldn't be too much of a problem because technically you can organize the emotions whatever way you want to.
Right. Hmm.
But yeah, it just still feels slow. And I think the big thing is that you have to switch from like using the button controls to using the touch controls
Right.
to do it.
Right.
Like it takes you from one method of playing to a completely different method of playing.
Right.
Um, and it's a small thing, but overall, like it's something that bothered me on the Wii U, for example. Like
Hmm.
the gamepad,
Ah.
it was a cool idea, but when I played it a lot, I was just like, man, I really don't like having to use the gamepad
Right.
because it just feels like it takes you away from it more than it throws you into something.
Right, exactly. And I think even Nintendo realized that down the road.
Yeah, so it was a good idea overall, but more annoying than it needed to be.
Right, right,
Though I still maintain that I think it was great on Splatoon. It wasn't too bad.
right,
That was one of the better games for the gamepad.
right,
Um, so yeah, I think that covers it. My other thing that I didn't mention was loading times, but you covered that
right.
perfectly. So yeah, less loading times because I just noticed you missed so much. You miss a lot while the game is loading.
Yeah, right.
Specifically messages that people are sending to you. So yeah, we wanted to do. We're gonna go ahead and move on to the next little section, and we wanted to. We're waiting for Animal Crossing Switch, right? And in the meantime, we're playing a bunch of different games. So we wanted to talk about the games that we're playing while we wait for Animal Crossing Switch. And my game has been Stardew Valley. I mean, there are a lot of games that I'm playing, but
Right.
Stardew Valley I wanted to talk about specifically because you haven't gotten it yet, right?
Right.
Yeah, so I wanted to kind of, I guess, give you an idea of like how it differs from Animal Crossing slash I'm really in the need for like life sim games right
Mm.
now. Mostly because I'm like, I need Animal Crossing. That's what
Yeah,
I really need.
right.
um, so yeah, I've been playing a lot of Stardew Valley. I'm currently in summer of year 2. And you'll probably have questions about how time works, but
Right.
I'll explain this a little more. So, mostly I want to talk about, how it differs from Animal Crossing. So the biggest thing, like I said, is that it doesn't use a real-time clock.
Right.
Um,
Right.
so yeah, I'm in summer of year 2. If that wasn't an indication, it's not really. I guess
Right.
it's still spring, right?
Right.
Yeah. So the time moves. I think it's about like 17 minutes per day if you like don't do anything to stop the clock.
Okay. Right.
So yeah, that's like 17 real life minutes.
Right.
It will take you through the 6 a.m. to 2 a.m. period. um, but yeah, like there are a lot of ways to stop the clock and everything. Like if you're talking to another person,
Oh, okay.
or
Okay.
if you've paused to the like if you're in some sort of menu,
Right. Right.
that's gonna stop the clock. Because time is one of the biggest things in this game. It's
Hmm.
your most important resource. um, when you're out of time, there are punishments for that. Um, so yeah, I guess that's the big difference from Animal Crossing. Like Animal Crossing uses the real time. It
Right.
doesn't really matter when you play. Um, though it does kind of, because shops aren't open at certain hours.
Right. Hmm.
But in Stardew Valley, like, it moves at its own like in-game time.
Right.
Yeah. And then other than that, like it's a farming sim rather than like, I guess, what kind of sim would you Animal Crossing falls along the lines of more of a life sim,
Right.
right?
Right.
Where you're paying off your debt and decorating your home and, just living a life.
Yeah.
Versus like Stardew Valley, like you're still living a life, but the main focus is like farming and
Right.
things that you can do in regards to farming.
Right. And I guess in Stardew Valley, like you said, time is critical. But in Animal Crossing, you have as much time as you want. You can play and only play the things that you need to do each day, or you can just take your time and do whatever you want in whatever order you want for the most part.
Yeah. And there's like there's kind of freedom in Stardew Valley too, but you have such a short time span to do
Hmm.
everything in. So the two games feel kind of different. Like Animal Crossing, I feel like, oh man, I can play this whatever hour of the day I want to and get my fix in that one sitting and be done for the day.
Right. Hmm.
Stardew Valley, you can potentially fall into a loop of like, oh, I'll just play one more day
Right.
because
Right.
it's been like 20 minutes and I'm like, I got another hour.
Right.
So you can play through a bunch. And then, so essentially, a Stardew Valley day starts. You wake up at 6 a.m. every morning,
Hmm.
and then from there, you can do a bunch of things. But when it reaches 2 a.m., or if you're up till 2 a.m., you're going to collapse wherever you are. And if you're on your farm, you'll wake up in your bed or outside of your farm. I forget where you wake up,
Mm.
but somebody will have left a note that they're like, "Oh, I found you passed out." If you collapse somewhere else, you get a lot more. I guess there's a much bigger punishment.
Right. Right.
Um, so a lot of people like to go mining, for example. If you run out of hit points or it gets to 2 a.m. and you
Hmm.
collapse there, you wake up in the hospital.
Oh man.
And at that point, the doctor charges you and you've lost like half of your items.
Oh yeah. Right. Makes sense.
And so yeah, now you're down money and like
Mm.
whatever you were mining.
Right.
So it's kind of a big punishment.
Right.
So the best thing to do is to not pass out.
Right.
Or if you're about to, just turn off the game and try it again. Because yeah,
True. That's true.
there also isn't there you don't get punished for like restarting or anything, just like
Right.
Animal Crossing. So you can potentially just keep reliving a day until you get it as efficient as you want it to be.
Okay. Okay. I see that. That was one of my questions. I was wondering if you could redo maybe like the couple last days, or just the one that you're working on.
Oh yeah, it's just the one that you're working on. Other because once it saves, you're like on the next day and there's no way back.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, that's the one thing.
Yeah. No time travel because it's not real time.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that, but yeah, there's no time travel. What you've done is done, and you're
Right.
just gonna have to live with that forever.
Right. I don't want collapsing to be adding to Animal Crossing.
Oh yeah, I don't think it works for Animal
No.
Crossing.
Right.
Like, uh, from playing Stardew Valley, I've noticed like it's a very different game. Um, I'd say it's more of a time management game
Yeah, that makes
than
sense.
and Animal Crossing is more of like a relaxation type of game.
Yeah. Yes.
Um, which is funny because like a lot of people they tend to say that Animal Crossing feels too demanding because they feel like they have to play every day or they're gonna get punished, you know?
Right.
And I don't know, I feel like Stardew Valley is still kind of demanding in a different way than Animal Crossing is. Um, because I mean I've skipped a lot of days not playing Stardew Valley, you know, and nothing really happens. I just start wherever I left off,
Right.
and it's fine. But still, like if you're not, I don't know. I feel like you can miss some goals in Stardew Valley or do things like plant seeds at a bad time and then like
Mm.
say you have a crop that takes 10 days to make but you planted it with like 9 days left in the season, that
Mm.
plant will never grow because once it comes
Oh.
to the new season, it's gone. Like
Right.
the crop will die. You know.
Right.
So there are different ways that it's kind of like demanding, and I think that's the big thing. Like it's more, it feels a little bit more stressful than an Animal Crossing game because it doesn't work in real time.
Right. And on the same note, if you can't really spend a day doing nothing in Stardew Valley, or I mean, you could if you want, but it's gonna cost you a lot more than it would in Animal Crossing. In Animal Crossing, you just don't make any progress, but it's fine.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that's the thing with this game. Like, it's really pushing for you to make as much progress as possible.
Right. Make the most of each day.
Yeah, and it, yeah, and there are a lot of different activities too. Like, you can't do them all every day. You have to like really prioritize
Mm.
what you're going to be working on.
Right. Right.
Um, so typically, and there are things that help you out along the way to like kind of give you more freedom. But I'd say the beginning of the game is tough because you have to. It's before you've gotten like sprinklers and stuff,
Hmm.
and without a sprinkler system, like you're hand watering every single plant.
Right.
And at that point, you also can only water one space at a time, you
Oh.
know?
Right.
And then that takes time, it takes energy. And then by the time you're done with that in the beginning of the day, you're like, wow, I have barely any energy left and I've used half my day, you know? So the
Right.
beginning of the game is like pretty tough
Mm.
and kind of a grind to get through. And you're just like, I wish I hope it's raining tomorrow so I can go to the mines. Yeah, because if it's raining, you can take the day off of watering, go
Right.
to the mines, and collect ores to upgrade your tools and stuff.
Right. Right.
So yeah, I'd say it's still like a pretty demanding game, especially if you want to like progress as fast as possible.
Right. So it doesn't really give you a break. It just changes your priority for the day. But, there's always something to do.
Yeah,
But,
yeah,
oh
but
man, I want a sprinkler system in Animal Crossing. Please. That
oh
would be
yes,
so cool.
please. Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, I spend way too much time watering my flowers.
Right. Even if you get like a bill for water service, every month, that's fine. I'll pay
Yeah, that would be so great. Like
it.
if you could go to Leaf at the gardening center and you're like,
Yeah.
"Hey, I want you to water my plants." And he does it, I'd pay whatever he's
Yeah.
charging. I'd pay it. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that'd be amazing. Cuz I know you had like the beautiful town option, you know?
Yes.
But if you use the beautiful town option, the likelihood of getting weeds in your town is low.
Yes. Oh,
And I'm
very low.
like, I need those.
Right.
So, so yeah. But anyways, yeah, that's kind of like Stardew Valley. It's a strange game. Like you're essentially given this farm and you can build it up whatever way you want to.
Hmm. I was wondering, as far as customization goes, how much does it offer? What are you able to customize? Like, I know your character, you can customize it, but I was wondering about the other characters maybe or the environments.
Okay, yeah, so the funny enough, like the character customization when you start the game, I probably spent like at least 30 minutes going through everything. There's a lot. Um like there you can of course pick like whatever gender you want to go by, male, female, and then from there like you have all these different hairstyles, you have all these
Hmm.
different shirts. There were like 100 shirts to pick from. And I was like, man, that's gonna take me forever. And then pants, it gives you kind of like these sliding bars, so you can change the color of what pants you wear.
Right.
Um, yeah, so there's really a lot that you can do to your character and make it look whatever way you want it to look. You know.
But you cannot change your look after that?
There are ways, but you kind of have to earn them. Um,
Okay.
so the specific way is like you have to befriend the wizard kind of thing, and then he'll give you access to the place where you can change what you look like, your
Right.
appearance. Um, so yeah, I haven't even been able to do that yet. So, um, but yeah, I do know it's an option.
Okay. And what about your house or maybe other houses? Are you able to change the flooring or anything?
Yeah, so the housing, this is one thing that I actually haven't gotten super into, but you can upgrade your house, you can make it bigger.
Hmm.
I have done that, and what it does is it added a kitchen for me. But there are also like tons of different like furniture pieces and like floorings and walls and stuff for your home. I need to get into that because I
Mm.
really want to start like customizing my place and making it look more of like what I want it to look like, you know?
Right, right.
Um, so yeah, there are like different things for your house, but you know, also there is like such a short time frame to do it in, that
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
I'm always trying to like do as much as possible on, like just on my farm and around town
Right,
and everything, that
right.
I'm like, man, if I spend a day decorating my place, my day's gone, you know?
Right, right.
So I feel like having to prioritize things every day like kind of gets in the way of being able to enjoy other aspects of the game for me.
Right. You know what would be nice if weekends were double the time.
Oh yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
ching.
since, on weekends we usually don't work, we have more time to do things like, decorating. So in the
Hmm.
game, I think should carry that over.
Yeah, that would be really awesome. And you know, it could work over time where I'm still pretty early on in the game, so I'm not too experienced with things, but or slash I haven't really automated a lot of my farm.
Right,
So
right.
I think later in the game I'll be able to like automate my farm enough so that I will have time to like work on decorating my place and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So yeah, I feel like getting to certain parts of the game, like you really have to earn it.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like it. I was also wondering about the personalities. I'm not sure. I don't think it works like in Animal Crossing where there's different set types. I think on this one, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's more character based, so everyone has the same different characters and they are preset personalities.
Yeah, yeah. So it definitely has, um, in one way, it has more personalities than Animal Crossing.
Hmm.
Um, because, you know, Animal Crossing has, what was it, like 8 personalities, and
Right,
all these different types of villagers could have those 8 personalities.
right,
Um, in this game, it's more like there are, I don't know, like 30, maybe more different characters, and each of them is like a pretty fleshed out character, you know?
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Everyone you talk to, like you can build different relationships with them, and yeah, they just like you get to know them more, and they're all different people.
And all the players get them, or is it like a random bunch of them?
Oh yeah, no, every profile has all of the same
Okay,
characters.
all right.
So once you like get to know them, like there's not really a reason to get to know them anymore, you know?
Right.
Yeah, you're just like, oh, I know who that character is, you know?
Right, right.
But yeah, I mean, there you can play a lot of different files or make a lot of different farms in
Mm-hmm.
this game, and really like, I guess, like I said, one of the big things is like I feel like I'm not getting to certain things. If
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to, like I could just start another game and get to the things, do play that
Oh,
completely differently, you know?
right, right.
Um, Maybe focus on meeting certain characters in that one, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So you could potentially play a lot of different Stardew Valley farms
Right.
and get all of those different experiences, but
Right.
you know, I have two farms right now and I'm like
Mm.
happy. Happy to be
Right,
doing what I'm doing, you know?
right, right, right. And I know there's a big update either. I guess it's getting finished up. It's for multiplayer, and I was wondering how that's gonna work, especially with the time constraints.
Yeah, so right now they're like beta testing it. I know it's out for they're beta testing it on PC, and
Mm-hmm.
there are a ton of bugs, but essentially there's a special like cabin that you can build, and it's super cheap to build. But once you've built that on your farm, another player can come and live there. And
Mm.
then from there they can essentially do everything, every single thing that you can do, and it's like you share the farm together.
Oh, okay, all right,
Yeah, so I think what would work best is like starting a whole new farm that you intend on like
right,
sharing with people.
right. Okay,
And then you can all build that up. And like I said, it's a really cheap item, so you can get it pretty quickly and then have people like move in pretty much right away.
right. Oh, nice,
Yeah, so they made it easy. I don't know too many specifics, but it does look fun. I'm really excited about that.
nice.
Yeah, and my second farm, that's kind of what I'm hoping to do.
Mm.
I'm starting to think I picked the wrong farm type to do it because there's not too much like farming space. So I
Mm-hmm.
might just restart it again and like start a farm where everybody will have decent
Right.
room to grow their crops and stuff.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So anyways, what have you been playing while we wait for Animal Crossing?
The wait. I've been playing Rocket League because one of the a Discord group that we're both in, they're having a league tournament throughout basically a month, a bunch of different weeks, and I'm not the greatest player at all, so I've been having to practice a lot, and it's a lot of fun in and of itself. But being part of a team and in the league and improving together, it's encouraged me to play a lot more than usual. So yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, and I'm kind of in the same boat as you. I think you've probably played more than I have, but I also joined this league and I've mostly just been learning how to play Rocket League, but I wanted to join it specifically so I would give that game some playtime.
Right.
Because it was one I got a while back, but I hadn't really played, and now that I am, I'm like, oh, this is cool, and it's the World Cup,
Yeah.
so
Right.
it's fun to play like something soccer based, you know?
Yeah. Perfect timing.
Yeah. So how have you felt about that game? Like, what's been like difficult about it, fun about it?
Yeah. I mean, just playing. The more you play, the better you get at it. And the difficulty for most beginner players, us included, I would say, is hitting the ball and getting to see it right and being able to calculate when to jump or when to dodge or which way to dodge, just so that you hit the ball the way you're thinking you're going to, and also keeping your eye on other players, and you don't basically you're not always going to hit the ball. Just try to see how the other players are going to hit it, and then you react to it. You should go to where you think the ball is going to end up. And most of the time, you're actually there, and it's your turn to hit it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's totally what I've been having trouble with too. Just like
Right.
being able to tell where the ball is going and everything. Um, so yeah, I guess you would say like practicing is the best way to get better.
Yes, yeah. And even if you're practicing against good players, that's even the best practice. So you can see what they do and how they play around. And when there's two people attacking, there's one defending, and you just switch around, and there's always somebody back there to keep the goal safe.
Yeah, and I think that that's a cool thing. Like it does feel like a soccer game,
Hmm.
which is pretty cool. But I guess more involved because like you're maneuvering by driving a car.
Right.
So I don't know. I like it a lot. It's been super fun. Um, yeah.
Yeah. It's been really fun, and there's some really funny moments, that happen. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's a ton of fun. So, so yeah, that's kind of what we've been playing just to wait for Animal Crossing.
Right.
It's been a hard wait. Mostly I'm just anxious because it's E3 time and I'm like I really hope. I'm just hoping this is the year.
Yes. Right.
And yeah, speaking of E3, let's actually talk about E3 a little bit. We wanted to clarify that I think on the Discord, some people thought maybe we were doing some live commentary
Hmm.
during the presentation. We're not going to do live commentary. We're going to be going live right after the presentation, and it's going to be like a live podcast recording.
Right.
So if you join the Discord, there will be a special chat room that you can enter. You won't be able to say anything just because it's not really meant for you to be saying anything. It's meant for
Right.
you to be able to listen to things. But we will be opening like a little chat room that's specific to that. So you can type in questions and ask about, just thoughts on the presentation and everything.
Right. Right. And we can answer them right there and then.
Yeah, so you'll want to join the Discord either, well, of course, you want to join the Discord just before E3,
Right.
before the Nintendo presentation, because right after that, we're going to be going live. I think how it's going to work is we're probably going to record this in kind of segments, right? Because we don't want to miss, um, I know I don't want to miss like a lot of the Nintendo Treehouse stuff that's going
Right.
on.
Right.
Um, but I do know Nintendo typically does like start doing the treehouse stuff right after the presentation. Um,
Yes.
in this case, it's going to be Super Smash Bros. But then they're going to have like breaks in between each segment, right?
Right. Hmm.
So I think we'll be live like during those breaks is how I think it might work.
Right. And we'll keep you posted when will we be coming back or taking a little break, as much as we can tell from Nintendo themselves. So we'll keep you
Yeah.
posted.
Yeah. I'll probably be staying in that chat room. And then at that point, you'll probably hear live reactions from me on
Right.
the Nintendo Treehouse stuff, but not during the E3 presentation
Right.
itself.
Right.
um, and then all the recorded parts will fall in between those Treehouse segments.
Right.
Yeah, so you be sure to join the Discord. There are a lot of people joining these days.
Yes.
And it's been really fun to chat with a bunch of people about Animal Crossing. I think we're all getting pretty hyped for the next game.
Yeah. It's
Um,
building up. Yeah.
yeah, so I'm as a sneak peek. I think not this week, but not this Friday, but next Friday. It's the episode that's gonna make me the saddest, and it's gonna be going over all the reasons I think Nintendo wouldn't announce Animal Crossing.
Right.
I just hope they do. But I'm sad because I feel like there are reasons they wouldn't announce it.
Oh,
And I'm like, no, come on,
don't
Nintendo, it's time.
don't look too much into it.
Yeah, I'll try to make it all bad evidence. So. It'll make more sense that they should announce it.
Right.
Yeah, so it's going to be fun. I'm really excited about E3.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and I think I've been having a harder time playing Pocket Camp lately just because I'm like, I'm not going to need this game anymore. I'm going to have the big real thing right in front of me.
Yeah. Right.
So, yeah, it's been hard for me to actually do it. And yeah, the other thing is just like I'm trying to find life sim games to fill in the void
Mm.
right now.
Right.
And Stardew Valley is great, but I downloaded another that I'll probably talk about a little later. But yeah, we did spend quite a bit talking about like different games that we're playing. Your feedback, we love it. Let us know what you thought about that segment. And if it's something you want us to keep doing. If it's not, we won't. We'll just keep it all Animal Crossing. But it's getting hard because I think about it all the time.
Yeah.
And I might be going crazy. So, yeah. Anyways, thank you all so much for listening. If you want to be part of the conversation on all things Animal Crossing, like I said, join the Discord. We've had a lot of great cool new members joining, and of course you want to join before E3 because you'll get access to the live podcast recording, and once again you don't have to be a patron on Patreon to join. It's free and open for everyone, and if you join you get our friend codes. If you do want to become a patron, however, visit patreon.com/ChewiePlaysNintendo for just $1. You get to support our show, and you get a bunch of cool prizes and stuff. Well, not prizes. It's more like my 3DS friend code, my Wii U friend code, Switch friend code. So you can add me, be my friend, play with me when the new Animal Crossing game comes out,
Right.
which is hopefully sooner than later. But also you get opportunities to have your voice heard on the show. I like to run some, just ask questions, ask people for questions of anything they want us to discuss on the show. So,
Right.
yeah, a lot of cool things that happen. But most of all, we get to appreciate your support.
Right.
If you're watching on YouTube, I want you to leave a comment about games that you're playing while you wait for Animal Crossing. If there are any life sim games you like, anything that you think will help me fill my void, any recommendations, just leave them in the comments. And please leave a review of the show wherever you are listening. It helps us gain some visibility and allows the community to grow. And it's been growing a lot, so you're going to want to join this Discord.
Yeah.
And once again, thank you all for listening. We hope you have a great week.
Goodbye, everybody.